Welcome back to Calmsden Farm, and we are up at the store because the sugar beets are ready, so we need to release a beet harvester. So no surprises, I'm going for the KS6 beet harvester. Are you shocked? You shouldn't be. This is one of my favourite mods. And then we've released the Eagle Beaver. Yeah, low load doesn't fit particularly well on the back of the pickup. I should have brought up the case, but I thought it would work on the pickup. It doesn't. But yeah, we've released the beet harvester and the beet header. I'll probably buy one of these at some point. Although it's not that expensive to lease, but you can see, yeah, the pickup is really struggling with this trailer. I think it's maybe the hitch is too low. I'm not sure. But yeah, we really could do with a tractor on this instead of the pickup. So I am, in fact, because the road is very quiet. It's quite early and there's not much traffic about. We're just going to leave it there for a minute. No one will mind. It's fine. Actually, while I think about it, there's been an update to the S2000 forage harvester. I've not tested it yet, but I think they've redone all the textures that I was complaining about. Not complaining about because it's awesome. But I think they've improved some of the textures, so that might be a bit better now. It might not look quite so weird when it gets dirty. So yeah, definitely check that out because it's really cool. It's a if you're playing on a save like this, that forage harvester is a lifesaver. I had some feedback as well on a couple of questions that I've asked, and the suggestions are that we lease fields 9 and 10. I need to work out how to split field 9, and also I can't remember if I commented this on the last video on Calmsden. The response on the hard versus normal difficulty was 3 votes to 1 for normal difficulty, so probably going to make that switch. I think it will help with particularly when we add Maize Plus in, because we're probably going to need to spend some money at that point. So yeah, I did say this would be the last video before we did the update, but it's not going to be because I want to get the grass mown and baled. Because I'm going to be adding in precision farming. If I add it and don't touch the grass, we won't have any pH or fertilizing or scanning, whereas we put the effort in to fertilize the grass already, and so I am going to mow and bale all of that for silage in the next video before we move on. I think as well there might be a problem, I read it on Discord, with the update and Giants editor, and I'm going to have to make some changes to Calmsden. There were a few bits that I removed from the map to put in the manure store, for example, so we'll see how we get on with that, but there might be a little bit of a delay with Calmsden if I'm having to wait for Giants editor, or I guess I could roll back to 1.5, do all the updates and then re-update again, because basically I think Giants editor uses the game engine to do some stuff. So we are full already. We made it around about half a headland and we're full, so it's going to be quite a lot of carting on this. I end up doing all of it myself. Even with it being so narrow, I didn't put courseplay on or a worker, so we started really early in game. It's pretty much the only thing in the video is me beet harvesting, but it's such a good mod. Interesting comments on, I think it was the multiplayer video where we used this, about why it's not on console and that kind of thing, and it turns out that Forstrip, I'm not sure if I said that right, is a German brand that I think it was government owned, brought out by Case IH, and so probably licensing on console is tricky. So I have a feeling that in FS19 we had Forstrip stuff on, and I play on PC, so it's kind of hard to know whether it was on all platforms, but yeah. Anyway, it's one of my favorite. I was moderately tempted actually to use the base game Rooster beet harvester, because I'd literally just done a video with this, but I like it too much. So maybe next year we probably do sugar beets next year, and maybe we'll then use one of a different harvester. We might go bigger. Might need to go bigger. We're going to need a bigger trailer because this guy can only hold 17,000 litres because I play on this save with the weight limit on. So that's all the weight of the trailer is going to take. And I'm just going to tip it in the field, which is not ideal with moving maps, but it just needed somewhere to store it for now. So probably what I'll end up doing is cheating in some big trailers to put it in to move, and then we'll tip it back in the field. Probably what I'll do. Gonna do the move, but just between two videos. So the next one will be me cutting grass on here. Hopefully I can do the edits I need to in Giants Editor to the map to be able to move then, because I would really like to make that swap. And we're going to add in precision farming, as I think I have said. Yes, I did, because I was talking about the grass mowing. And then, yeah, still waiting for Maze Plus to finish some testing and some bug fixing still. So, yeah, a little way to go for that yet. And although I am testing Maze Plus, I am not allowed to use it in my Let's Plays yet because it's still in development. So we might have the multiplayer, have had the multiplayer this week, I don't know. Paul's having a bit of a break from streaming, so we will see how that goes. Quick thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Really appreciate your support to the channel. It really does help, really does. At the moment, you guys are helping to pay my bills every month. So yeah, it is appreciated. Those of you who aren't are helping to pay my bills every month because of the ad money from YouTube, which is not huge, but it bridges a gap. I am using VCA GPS with this. I know it wouldn't have GPS in real life. It would if it was mine, because I'd have added it aftermarket. But what I'm doing is I've set, I think it's 5 or 6 skips on the auto turn, and using that for, so one turn I do manually to push us down a row, and then I auto turn the next one, and that just made it really easy. It's really relaxing. It worked surprisingly well. This works better than I remember with GPS as well. So you can see there we did the skip and it pushed us right up to the top. In 19 it wasn't so good with GPS from what I remember, but this seems to work pretty well. I think the working width is maybe slightly wider than they claim, so yeah, GPS works okay. So you can see this one I do manually, and then the next one I'll do with the auto lane switch. It worked really well. The first time I've done it like that, and yeah, I was surprised. I had a bit of an inspired moment. Someone's going to tell me they've been doing it forever like that, but you know. There we go, switch again, and also opening the auger up so we can empty into the trailer, and I think we're going to fill it already. And probably not going to keep all of the sugar beet. We need some for feeding the cows once we get Maze Plus. I'll probably keep about 40,000 litres, I think, and then the rest we will sell when the price is good. And that's going to make us a bit more if we switch to normal economy, not easy, normal. Feels like it's going to be easier having played on hard, but, you know. And just try, so the Kubota Dlc is released today. So I've done a lot of recording today. It's partly because I'm traveling, and so I'm now sat in a rather luxurious travel lodge hotel. If you're from the UK, you'll know I'm kind of taking the piss. It's a 2-star hotel. Think cheap American motel. Actually, it's clean, it's nice, it's comfortable. I'm giving it a hard time. That's not really fair. It's pretty basic, let's put it that way. And it's at a motorway services, if you're in the US, a rest stop on a freeway. But actually, it's not too bad. Quite like it. It's surprisingly quiet, which is nice. But yeah, it's meant I've got quite a lot of time to record today because I'm on my own in a hotel. And this is what I do when I'm away. I catch up on recording stuff. And so today the Kubota Dlc released. And what I'm wondering is whether we should try and get the skid steer on here. Why I'm thinking that, we can put some of the hay bales in the long sheds that we have. freeing up some space in the cow barn to store other stuff. And maybe we can use it for doing some of the TMR stuff with bale handling and things. It's kind of what I'm thinking, and it would be nice to play with the DLC. So we can't afford any of the tractors on here unless they crop up in the sale, but maybe we can stretch with all the contracting money we made in the last few episodes. Maybe we can treat ourselves to a skid steer on here. Again, chuck some comments below. Do you think we should get a skid steer or not? I think it would be good for bale handling. I've heard good things about the Kubota ones because they have the weights on the back that they can deal with a little bit more weight and they're a bit better balanced. So probably going to have a play with it, and we'll just see. We'll see. The big Kubota tractor looks nice. The M8, I think it is. That's going to make an appearance somewhere. I have an idea in mind for it. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do it or not, so I'm not going to mention it yet. And we're ploughing through this field. Well, we're harvesting it. We're not ploughing through it. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm a dad. But it's not going to take us long to get this finished now, and that's all the harvesting done. So, as I said, going to get the last cut of grass off of here. I don't know if I said first cut, because I've just recorded the previous Greenlands video where I was talking about first cut. We're going to get the last cut of grass off of here for the year, and then I saw this big strip of land that we own but we can't get to. I'm also wondering whether we should maybe, when we do some map editing, move the map boundaries a bit. Don't know, that might be a bit cheaty. We're already making pretty good use of the free land on this map. I do like that Oxy has that. It works well for this kind of safe. Yeah, I get it's a little bit cheaty. You know, I've turned them into proper grass fields and a field that we are arable farming in, which is maybe not what they're intended for. And I know areas like the one in front of us are intended to give you some immersion because you can't see the map edge. I know that's why they're there. That's why the boundary's there, because you can't get to the map edge easily, and it helps with the immersion. So maybe we're pushing that a bit enough already. You know, we've got the greenhouses up on the free bit of land by the it's not the garden centre, it's whatever the other one is up there, by the animal dealer. So yeah, I think we're pushing the free land enough actually, but ignore what I said. 2 more strips to go and we will be done. I'm hoping we can get that done before the hour ticks over and we get hit with another lease bill. It's not that expensive to lease this thing. If you're on PC and you're doing small scale root crops, this is, in my opinion, the best way to harvest them. I guess it's probably unlikely that you'd see an Eastern European root crop harvester in the UK, but who knows? I'm not really around farms, and I've seen some pretty random old tractors that I wouldn't expect to see in the UK. So, you know, let's empty the trailer and come back and get the last little bit. I have no idea how much we harvested off of here. I've got a feeling it's about 100,000 litres. That'd be one of the nice things about adding precision farming back in. We'll get a readout on that kind of thing. Might add in a root crop store. If there's a small one, some of them are quite big and we don't really need a big root crop store, but a small root crop store would be quite handy. Hopefully we're not going to tick over the hour before we empty. Nope, we're good. Switch it off. Store are going to come and collect that for us. We've left the trailer for them, so we put enough business their way that they're happy to come and collect that. And yeah, we've got a decent amount of sugar beet, so that will help keep the cows fed through the winter, hopefully. If not, whenever we can start feeding it to them. And what we're going to do now is a little bit of work with the cows, because they do need some feeding, I believe. So let's jump in the little John Deere and empty out the feed mixer, and then we'll do a fresh mix because there is plenty of space for feed for them. You can see we have a lot of hay bales, so I think it would be good to fit those in one of the long sheds, and a skid steer would be really good for that, and it would give me more room to turn this thing around. So we're going to start working on clearing out the small bales that we have, or smaller bales. So we're going to use those in the TMR mixer for now. Because there's always a gap, I just have to check the capacity to work out how much hay to put in. We're aiming for more than half hay, basically. I want to get rid of those little bales. I'm happy that we're going to use a bit less silage. So much silage on hand, and we're going to have even more soon because we're going to do another silage cut. I need to move the windrower out of the way so we can get to mineral feed. And I should probably put that in the shed with the cows, or again, having a skid steer would make it really easy to get that out of this little shed. If I convinced you yet, we need a skid steer. We do. Although I did a pretty awesome job of backing that in there, so if I do say so myself. So we just need some silage now to fill that up, so we'll jump in the JCB, drop the bale fork off and get that topped off. See, if we had a skid steer, we could just have a bale fork on the skid steer and the bucket on the JCB. It would be so much better. I've convinced myself I want to buy a skid steer on here. A couple of contracts would pay for it as well. I don't know what the contracting's like. I guess we're going to be going into November, December, January, whether there'll be some field working contracts, maybe some ploughing and that kind of thing. We'll see. That's a nice TMR mix done. I think this is a good point to say thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you next time on Calmsden Farm.